Today we talking about the exploring Devil's Hole, man. This is crazy hole in Death Valley.
My name is Jonathan Bird.
You don't know what Death
I'm a
Valley is?
filmmaker
It's
specializing in underwater
kind of
production,
between California and
I'm
Las
diving
Vegas,
into one of the most
like the
remote
most
and
dangerous
protected
place in the
caves
U.S.
in the world, in a most unlikely place,
At like the hottest temperature ever recorded.
deep beneath the Nevada desert.
Check this out though. How crazy that look. Know about you, I ain't diving in no hole called Devil's Hole. I don't give a damn what's down there. Gold, pearl, diamond.
It's
They can
about
have
a
it.
group of cave paleoclimatologists
I ain't diving down
using
there, dog.
formations in caves to study the ancient climate.
They always trying
In
to
the
study
film, we
something
visit
they ain't
remote,
supposed to.
stunning locations all over the world, such as
Bro.
France,
But hey, we get to see it, so go ahead, explore it for
Mexico,
us. You take the risk, we get the reward.
the
So let's head
Bahamas,
that way.
and even Iceland. One of the most important shoots of the film involves the research being done at a desolate site near Death Valley called Devil's Hole Cave. If you
Devil's
Google
Hole.
Devil's Hole, you'll probably find this: a highly protected small pool in a crack in the rocks which harbors the Devil's Hole pupfish, one of the most endangered
Pupfish.
animals in the world. But
Hear that?
that's not where we're going. Devil's Hole is part of the Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge and administered by the National Park Service. Devil's Hole Cave.
Alright, I
not to
kind of
be
want to
confused-
just skip through this video. They kind of doing a lot of talking about their own
But it
stuff,
also
but
gives us a
I just
place
want
out
to
of
show
the-
y'all how they diving through here.
wearing
Like,
lycra.
crazy how it looks. Guy that dove the deepest, I think he got to like 450
Todd
something
and I
feet,
descend
like,
from the pool down a 45-degree crack that mirrors
and that's the
room above.
deepest they've ever known that to, you know, be able to make it, but they don't know how deep it goes. And just look how ancient this look under here. It's like crazy.
Todd leads the way as we follow the guideline down into the depths.
I'm not going down there, bro. Never. Never in a million years. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Everything down here is covered in a fine layer of silt, so we have to be really careful with our fins.
The water like 90
The
degrees,
ceiling
bro.
of the
Like,
cave is like
there's no
nothing
way.
I've ever seen. The pillowy
Limited
formation
oxygen,
is called mammillary calcite,
like death
formed
trap.
by calcite precipitation in supersaturated water.
Look at that. That's great. Like, what is that? A whole bunch of marshmallows or something. Like,
While
said that
being
buildup is
mindful
from,
of
like,
the fragile nature of the old
so many
guidelines,
thousands
we
and
have a look
thousands of years,
around.
bro.
We find a huge chamber that drops down at that same 45-degree angle. Famous cave diving pioneer Sheck Exley went down this very route in 1991 when he explored
Oh,
this cave to 436 feet, making it one of the deepest, if not the deepest, cave in the United States.
hear that? If not the deepest cave in the
At about
U.S.
100 feet, I find a large piece of rock which broke off, revealing the thickness of the calcite that had grown on the underlying bedrock.
Look at that, dog.
But calcite
Crazy.
is now forming over the break, like a thin layer of frosting. In a few thousand years, this whole
Few
thing will
thousand
be
years. On a few thousand years, just that small piece is gonna be white. But just think of how long it took for the rest to get white. Just think about
white. We
that.
turn around and head back
It has
up.
to be at least like 100,000 years. I say this is the old world. Like this is really the old
At the
world.
top
Like
of the deep chamber, we have a look around. Then Todd leads the way.
they making
back
it seem
towards the
real
entrance.
sweet and nice down there. They went down at the perfect time. I'm pretty sure. Cameras and everything. There's something down
All
there.
the rocks that have broken and fallen have become covered in calcite, making them all white and rounded, like big marshmallows. This cave has been submerged for a long time. There are no dry cave formations like stalactites or stalagmites. Everything
that?
has the rounded, pillowy look of formations made by underwater calcite deposits.
It's been there a
In
long,
shallow
long, long,
water,
long,
we explore
long,
some
long
overhangs
time.
and shelves, but none of the passages go anywhere.
Alright, so that's
Some
basically it
broken
for this
pieces of
site.
ceiling show folia formation made in a section of the cave.
Just wanted to give you a little introduction to that. So this is a double hole right here. Crazy, most rarest fish in the world. Don't know how deep it goes. Hot ass water. I ain't getting in there. Ain't no way. As far as way as possible from that. So let's go ahead and go to this dude. It's the Cryptic Hunter on YouTube. You guys want to check his page out? Yeah, check that out. Yeah, man, he did a video on this too, and tells you a little about how it can get a little eerie over there. So, portal to the underworld. This is where we start diving a little bit deeper.
Located 85 miles from world's famous Las Vegas and only a few minutes away from Death Valley, lies a mysterious geographical anomaly in the Nevada desert called Ash Meadows. Within this 40-acre conservation area, there is a deep hole in the ground called Devil's Hole. The Devil's Hole is home to a very rare type of fish that is not found anywhere else in the world. The pupfish is a small fish that grows about 1.5 inches
Nowhere
in
else.
length and is classified as an endangered species. This in itself is not creepy, but some of the legends and mysteries
Yeah, that's not
attached
too
to this
bad.
place
I
are
mean,
both
it's a
creepy
fish,
and fascinating at the same
but
time.
it's pretty crazy. Like the
One
rarest
tragic
fish in the
event
world.
happened in
Like
1955 when a small group
I
of
tell
friends
you how
decided to take
special
a
this
quick swim and
this
dive in
land
its
is,
warm waters.
and how
Two
much
of the
we don't
friends
even
never
know
came
about
back
it.
up.
You know
A search team was quickly
that
dispatched
they've
to
been
try to
hiding.
find
'Cause
the
this
boys.
place is boarded off too.
The rescue divers went as deep as 315 feet.
But I tell you right there, like, look at this. It's like that little map right here. Brown's room, main chamber. Uh, go all the way down. They said it exceeds 300 feet after this. If you make it through here, it's like no telling how far you're gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty crazy.
But all they managed to find were the boys' snorkels and a fading flashlight that belonged to the swimmers.
Mm.
The bodies were never recovered and they were never seen from again. The Paiute Indians believed that this hole was a portal, an entrance to an underworld called Shinawap, and was considered a forbidden place to swim by any of their people.
Any other
One of their legends
people?
states that a maiden once fell into the hole and was immediately dragged underwater, only to reappear a few days later on another nearby spring.
Mm.
For centuries, Native Americans that lived in the area have reported seeing flying objects around the spring, only to disappear underground into the lake. There are also many.
Now what? You always listen to the natives, bro. They always know because they've been here the longest. So don't never think you know more than them trying to go explore something and you might not reappear. You know what I'm saying? So this is like crazy.
Many conspiracy theories that believe that the hole is an actual entrance to an underground alien base. So it was to no surprise that when Charles Manson heard of these stories, he
Charles
immediately
Manson.
became interested and decided to go find it for himself. It is said that Manson roamed through Death Valley for days trying to find it until one day he did. He also believed that this place was an entrance to the subterranean underworld where rivers ran upside down and a place where he and his family could hide from humanity whenever
Subterranean
needed,
world. Hmm.
eventually emerging back out as lords of the world after Armageddon's embers had turned into ash.
Said he thought it was a subterranean world where rivers ran upside down and him and his family could hide out. Charles Manson, he was a crazy person. You know, devil worshiper, killer, cultist. So never know. Like you might have read something or been tapped into something, got some kind of information. Who knows? But that's crazy.
It is said that Manson's family would sit near the hole in a meditative state for days, trying to communicate with whomever or whatever lived in this underworld.
That's
Today, the
crazy.
hole is heavily fenced off with surveillance cameras watching your every move. No one is allowed to enter its waters or dive in them. Could the legends attached to this place be true?
Oh, it's boarded off. It's cameras everywhere. You can't even get close to the place, bro. So what are they hiding? Like, it's not only that. Like, I don't want to go close to it, but it's like they got all this stuff up, bro. They hiding. They protecting us from some. They protecting people to not go anywhere near it, bro. They don't want you going over there, down there, near it, unless I'm pretty sure they could scope it out first, make sure that whatever's down there is not there, and then okay, you good to go. But yeah, they don't want you over there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cameras, that's like creepy. Like you get anywhere near that, like you gonna have chills. Like I'm good.
Official divers have never been able to locate or estimate the correct depth of this hole. No one knows how deep it goes. What's beneath it? Could it be an alien base? Could it really be a portal to an underworld unknown to us?
Never
I
know,
can't
dog.
tell you for certain, but what I can tell you is that when you come near this place, you get a sense of something not feeling right and something else besides the surveillance cameras watching you.
Mm.
This entire area is eerie and creepy. So if
I
you ever
go
take a trip
creepy
through
to
the
me from this
unforgiven Death
seat,
Valley
dog. I
Desert,
ain't gotta walk
don't forget to
close to it.
stop by and visit one of the world's deepest holes. Make
One of
sure
the
you check
world's
out the
deepest
beautiful
holes.
wildlife the desert has to offer. Remember to always check your back. You never
Yeah, bro, these holes is crazy that they're starting to find and stuff too. Like, I'm pretty sure that like this is old, like older history, but even them finding like that deep, deep hole in China out in the jungle, they said it exceeded like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet or something like that. That's crazy too. Like, I don't even know what they found down there, bro. Like, but this info is
know
crazy.
if some of the Masons family is still roaming around behind the next bend, waiting for their next victim to walk by.
Yeah, that was just a little something. So he broke it down pretty good on how this shit just real weird, bro. Like, you can't just go over there and think ain't nothing gonna happen. Like the divers went there in 1965, thought nothing was gonna happen. They went down that night and they never reappeared, dog. Their third friend, he tried to look for him. He ain't seen nothing. All they found was they snorkels and like something else, bro. It was gone. And let's see what we got here. Trace of giants found in desert. This is hard to read. Los Angeles, August 4, retired Ohio doctor has discovered relics of an ancient civilization whose men were 9 feet tall in the Colorado desert near the Arizona Nevada California line. An associate said today, wow, that's all I could really read. This is so blurry. Speaking for the Transportation Club disclosed that several well-preserved mummies were taken yesterday from caverns in an area roughly 100 something miles through the southern Nevada from Death Valley, California. Wow, the Colorado River into Arizona. So hard to read that. You got this, bro. People have known just to die, like just being out there, bro. Like you get lost, tire pop, anything, like out there, you dead. Like ain't no coming back. Hey, what did I just say? People have been calling this rugged and desolate land home for as long as 9,000 years. See? America's the old world, bro. They not telling you all this. Indians, us Indians have always been here, bro. Like my
My name is Eka
people,
Vogelsang, and I'm a
other
pet
other
photographer from
tribes.
Hildesheim, Germany. From the very first day.
Several years ago, two men, Jack and Bill, were exploring the Death Valley near Wingate Pass when one of them fell through the bottom of an old mine shaft. Hmm. Now it's a little Death Valley background. All that. This is what they found, bro, when they fell through there. They found themselves in a natural underground cavern, which they followed about 20 miles northward into the heart of the Penament Mountains. Okay, it's pretty darn crazy, bro. And this right here brings me to another point. So they're saying that, to our amazement, they reported we found ourselves in a huge ancient underground cave city. Bro, that's crazy. If y'all done your research, y'all know like that they have built everything that we live on today. They built over everything that was here before. Our mounds, everything they, a lot of it they cut down, they destroyed, and they built on top of it. Even a lot of lakes is fake today. Like a lot of the lakes, they just filled that with water just to cover what's there, bro. Like a lot of that is uh under those lakes cities, like that you won't even know they were native cities and aboriginal cities, like stuff like that. All of that was already here. Like this is really like the ancient Egypt, like, and they know that, but they've been making us look somewhere else. You know, look to Africa, look over here, there, everywhere but here. You know, here in South America, like these is the oldest continents on this earth. Like, there's so much monuments and artifacts and everything that they could find out there. So it's crazy. And like the underground cave cities, like that's everywhere. You go to where is it? New Mexico, like New Mexico, and the Indians out there, the Navajo, and all of those people, they were known to fight these alien type mystical creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like Navajo brothers, look them up. Like they was slaying extraterrestrial beings, and you know they was on some real warrior stuff. So look them up and how they lived in the mountains, and they carved out the mountains and stuff. They had cities just built out of the mountains, like out of the mountains out there in the desert. So it looked a little different, but just think of that and think of this. And also think of the Grand Canyon, because in the Grand Canyon, there is the same thing, just like this. There is cities inside of those canyons. Like they won't let you go down there for a reason. They won't let you walk into those caves, and because there's something in there. You know what I'm saying? There's something ancient in there, like that they don't want us to ever know about or see. They don't want that information out. They're not gonna let you get close to it. So that's another crazy thing. Yeah, there's a lot of underground cities, bro, in this continent. Like, you don't know how deep this goes. Like, this was originally Atlantis, so you got to think of it like that, and you got to think of it as they don't want us knowing nothing. They want to keep us blind. We've been told lies our whole life, get this stuff. Like, I don't know how real all this stuff is right here, these pictures, but they're just telling a story. The place seemed to have been abandoned for ages, except for the mummies. The entire underground system looked very ancient. This reminds me of that movie, kids movie about El Dorado. El Dorado. That's what it was. Apparently, once lived by an indigenous system. Hmm. This remind me of El Dorado, bro. Where in the movie they was trying so hard to find like the city of gold and where these natives were at. Like they had pulled up, they had went through the land, they was there, they was good. Like okay, it's like cool. Like no matter where they looked, bro, they could not find the city of El Dorado. Like El Dorado had all the gold, and they could not figure it out on where that gold was. Like they were trying to figure it out, and they finally found it, like by mistake. Like so it was like wow, they finally found it, and it was like a secret city, bro. Like it was like some underground shit just to get to it. Like it was like something you had to do weird to get to it. Like it was hidden because it was like that was where they was. Like they had all their gold, all their valuables. Like it was hard to find them, so it wasn't easy. But the natives let them in. Like I'm pretty sure in that movie they ended up uh mistakenly taking them to where they were when they should have just realized no these people aren't here for us because once they went to take over and you know take everything and take the power and these people thought they were gods and all kind of stuff but nah, we the gods. Like I don't know, there's a lot of confusion. One power trying to obtain not to be cross money, man. Check this out, dog. There are also large statues of solid gold and stone vaults and drawers full of gold bars. See what I'm talking about, bro? Deep in the mountain caves, dog. This is where that stuff is. Men reported that throughout the city there were huge stone doors which were almost perfectly balanced by counterweight. Just sounds like El Dorado to me, dog. Like some El Dorado type stuff. Followed the caverns upwards. A higher level of the caverns ultimately opened out onto the face of the Penman Mountains. Wow. There was a few exits and formed a tunnel-like quays. This is crazy, dog. Few exits, so they hard to find. Like the little holes, they might have covered them already now. Like they hiding them. They put big ass boulders there or something. They don't want you out there, boy, looking for nothing. So here, obvious that the valley below was once underwater. After some thought, they concluded that. Damn, they concluded that the arch openings were ancient docks for sea vessels. Wow. This is crazy, bro. Like I said, Atlantis. Think of Atlantis, like when we talking about this, because like I know it's weird because it's under, but it's not that deep, bro. Like you got to think of Atlantis. Like Atlantis was full of water, so they're saying docks for sea vessels. Like that tell you right there, like everything was water back then in Atlantis. A lot of stuff was just was by boats or everything was like majority water, so it was beautiful. Like everybody know how to live. Far below in the valley, they could pick out Furnace Creek Ranch and wash. Explorers brought out with them some of the treasure and tried to set it up. Tried to set up a deal with certain people, including scientists associated with the Smithsonian. Wow.
Getting an LLC for your business doesn't have to look like this. Just Google LLC Taylor Brands. It's totally easy. You pick a state.
The idea was to gain help to explore and publicize the city as one of the wonders of the world. However, to their bitter disappointment, a friend stole the treasure, which was also the evidence. In worse, they were rejected and scoffed at by the scientists. Wow. By the scientists when they went to show them the mine entrance and could not find it. Wow, wow, wow. Before they could even get back, dog, this shit was gone. It appeared that a recent cloudburst had altered the entire landscape and did not look like it had been before. Wow. There's always something weird that will happen, dog. They be watching like, oh, they think they gonna find them. Okay, we got something for them. UFO, change everything, motherfucker. Before you know it, you go back out there. People looking at you like you crazy. They like, what? It was right here. Like, no, it's not. When Bill and Jack were last seen, they were preparing to climb the east face of the Panamis to locate the ancient tunnel openings or quays high up the side of the steep slope. Were last seen. Wow. Oh, these dudes disappeared then, huh? They didn't want to give it up, and yeah, it got gone, dog. See, that's what I'm talking about. Gotta be careful. Yeah, bro. It's something out there. Like, you gotta think it's higher powers, bro, and they watching. Like, you don't never know what's watching, but can't just be doing whatever. Imagine when a retired physician of the name F. told a similar story. And claimed to have discovered strange underground rooms in the Death Valley area in 1931. He spoke of the same stuff. And identify artifacts in the room similar designs to combination of Egyptian and American Indian. Ancient Egypt. What struck him the most about the mummies, though, was their size, more than 8 feet tall. Can't make this stuff up, bro. Dr. Russell and a group of investors launched Amazing Exploration Inc. to handle the release and profit from this find. But, nah. But Russell vanished, and although he had personally taken his friends there, they were never able to find the caverns and tunnel. So that's three people that vanished, dog. What? Yeah. You think you found them, you think you got it, and they just take you, bro. You gone. Like, come on. This is why you don't go near certain stuff. People don't want this information out. You know what I'm saying? Especially stuff like this. With a burst of radiator. They did them so cold. Oh man, they did it so wow. That's no coincidence. Like, none. His suitcase was still in the car. Now look at this, dog. For centuries, the legend of underground city and an ancient race in Death Valley have been told in the Paiute legend of the kingdom of Shinneval. Wow, El Dorado. Trying to tell y'all some El Dorado stuff right here. Look at them. Dark Indian. That's dark. That's us right there, boy. That's that's plenty of our ancestors, different tribes, everything. That's us. You know what I'm saying? Get them. People of the sun. This place, meaning God's land or ghost land, is a sacred place to the Paiute. Talking about, bro. Like I'm saying before the video said. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tell you, dog. According to the legend, thousands of years ago, an important Paiute chief lost his wife. That's crazy. Devastated, the leader was so overcome with grief and sorrow, he began to think that life without her was not worth living. He soon came to the decision to take his earthly body into the land of the dead. Entering a great kingdom ruled by the Shinawal, he was welcomed by a beautiful maiden who was the daughter of Shinawal. This is like weird ass story, bro. In the end, he made his way back to his people where he spent the rest of his life telling the story of the wonders and beauty of the kingdom of Shinawal. Wow. And thus the legend was born to be passed down from one generation for years to come. That's crazy, bro. Let's see, there was one more source I had. This one right here. I just want to go through this one. Go over the
If you're a beat
disappearances
maker,
right
You
here.
gotta check this out.
The Unison Beatmaker Pack.
The Unison Beatmaker Pack.
Hello, friends. Somewhat ironically, to some of the world's most breathtaking and wondrous places. Sometimes the location will have gotten its name innocently enough, such as because the geology of the place simply looks foreboding and sinister, especially under the cover of night. Much of the time, these particular places are said to be cursed, enchanted, or downright evil, and the spooky and scary landscape only lends credence to these rumors and legends. So much of the time, though, these places with this particular word in the title are associated with not just devils, demons, spirits, and other otherworldly phenomena, but with real tragedies, disappearances, deaths, maybe bizarre sounds and strange lights in the sky. Today, though, we're going to focus on one place in particular, where a mysterious tragedy struck. Devil's Hole, which is located in the aptly named Death Valley National Park in California, United States.
That's how we went over this already. We already know what's up.
This
You talking about the two divers, bro?
in a whole different world from the more largely inhabited cities which surrounded it. On June 20th, 1965, four high school buddies set out to a remote desert location about 90 miles northwest of Las Vegas trips, further commenting, "It's beautiful in there. It goes straight down 160 feet, like a pipe, then opens into a room that is about 300 feet long.
They went to go dive, bro, and their bodies not found.
The bottom of the room is about 260 feet down. Then it narrows into another tube. I dived to 315 feet. Maybe that's a record, I don't know. But at the end of the tube, it opens again into something else. We don't know what the next room is, or if it's a room at all. It's like infinity. There are some very terrifying legends from the native tribes of the area about this particular place called Devil's Hole. The Timbasha told tales of water babies who would surface and swallow a swimmer or diver whole should they stay in the pool for too long. Other legends suggested that
Diver babies.
a legendary malevolent giant who dwelled at mountain springs and caves, would snatch and devour unwary victims. Myths
That's what could have
withstanding,
got them boy, man. thought he was
And
gonna
the owner
find
of the
something. He came
Timbisha
in.
Shoshone, who
Get
shared
over
these
here.
stories in a 2002 workshop, admitted that
Get
she and
their
her
ass
friends
up.
enjoyed how the pupfish tickled their toes when they played in the spring. Keep in mind here that the Devil's Hole pupfish is the first ever species to be classified as endangered.
First
The fish are
ever.
not
Wow.
important to the story at all, really, but it seemed worth mentioning in order to reinforce how very special and perhaps a bit magical this place actually is. As far as the two young men who disappeared without a trace back in this mystical and extremely dangerous underwater cave system decades ago, well, they've never been found, and neither have any clues relating to what could have possibly happened to them. As for one more bit of interesting fact that could lend a bit of credence to something a bit more sinister being afoot, as the local tribes absolutely believe, at this otherwise serene and tranquil looking water source, it's said that Charles Manson himself spent several days at Devil's Hole, trying to figure out a way to make it safely down into the chasm, with some saying he was convinced he would never have to come back up. Allegedly, he had an obsession with the place, and was convinced that there was an underwater portal to an alternate dimension, or more specifically, a portal to the underworld, where he felt he and his family would be able to safely wait out the coming apocalypse he so famously predicted would happen that never actually did. Charles
At
Manson's
least not
problem
yet.
lie in figuring out a way to drain the hole, and it seemed like he may have been given this idea by an alleged Indian legend that resurfaced during the 1920s, contending that a subterranean sect of leather-clad humanoids lived down within an eerily yellow-green lit abode somewhere in the Mojave Desert. Could this possibly be true? Just as with the case of these poor young men, just doing what young men do and looking for a night of perhaps irresponsible but never thought to be deadly
Young
fun,
man do. I don't do no shit
we
like
may
that,
never
boy. I
actually
ain't
know.
going out there.
So if you do visit Death
Young dumb
Valley
man do.
in the
Oh,
Mojave Desert just outside Las Vegas,
cut it out.
don't venture in to Devil's Hole.
Don't
I look
venture
forward to your
in, man.
comments on this one, but please keep it friendly and respectful. Meanwhile,
That's crazy. That's majority of these sources right here. But then I want to talk about this. Mexico earthquake sparks desert tsunami in Death Valley cave 1,500 miles away in Nevada. Now, ain't that something? This is just crazy. The earthquake that struck Mexico earlier this week prompted 4-foot waves to crash around the cave system in Nevada's Death Valley. 7.6 magnitude quake shook the states Colima and Michoacan in western Mexico on Monday, 19 September. The Devil's Hole Cave System in Death Valley National Park, which is located in eastern California and stretches into parts of Nevada, is around 1,500 miles north. The highest temperature ever recorded was registered in Death Valley on 10 July 1913. The temperature 134 Fahrenheit was reached. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration state that the area gets as little as 2.2 inches of rainfall each year on an average. Within that particularly dry area, Devil's Hole is a geothermal cave system holding water. Cave system is the natural only habitat for highly endangered Devil's Hole pupfish. There are only about 100 and 180 in the wild. That's pretty crazy. The cave system is more than 430 feet deep, with the pupfish present in 80 feet. They try to keep it all cool on here, like it's super simple, nothing too crazy about it. It's just a pupfish holder, and that's about it. Just the pupfish, and it's such a cool little, just a little small spot. They saying it's hot as hell, but I ain't gonna say nothing else that we just seen. Water in the cave is usually calm, high in carbonate, low in oxygen. The average temperature is 93 degrees Fahrenheit in that water. Pupfish feed on algae, which grows in the waters. Earlier this week, 22 minutes after it struck in Mexico, after that earthquake struck, waves measuring 4 feet thrashed around the cave system. On September 19, 2022, a large earthquake that rocked the Pacific coast of Mexico made waves in Devil's Hole, literally. That's crazy, bro. How does an earthquake in Mexico make water pop up? in the middle of Nevada and California. I mean, it's really not that far if you're thinking about the whole Earth, but that's what people don't think like that. So they're gonna look at that and be like, it's such a mystery. But they gotta remember everything is still connected. Like all these deep holes and everything, it's all still connected. Like the surface is all flat, you know. So it goes deeper. We still got the stars, astrology, everything, but everything is attached on a flat surface level. So even though it's water in certain areas, you got to think everything under the ocean floor down at the bottom is all attached to each other. So all of this is attached still. So something happened in Mexico, earthquake happening in Mexico, if it's powerful enough, it could send a shock wave where that water somehow is coming up out of this devil's hole because the entry with water that goes so deep into the earth that it's that water is connected to the water over there. So when that earthquake happened, I could see how it somehow ended up in Nevada. And it's not the first time that this has happened. It's happened, but it's always some further, like far away place where it happens. So let's see what they say. The highly endangered pupfish thankfully evolved with the type of periodic natural disturbances. They were fine swimming afterward. And let's see. I want to see. It says that it's happened before. So the 2012 quake in the states of Guerrero and Oaxaca, Gulf of Alaska quake in 2018, and the Ridgecrest earthquakes in 2019 all prompted the waters to bring down algae from the rocks, affecting the food supply. It's crazy that distant earthquakes affect Devil's Hole. Kevin Wilson, an aquatic ecologist for Death Valley National Park, said in a statement in January 2018 following the Alaska quake. We've seen this a few times before, but it still amazes me. So they barely see it, a few times. The phenomenon is technically known as a seismic siege. They are standing waves in an enclosed body of water, such as a lake or pool caused by an earthquake, seismic waves. So those waves, seismic waves under the water from Mexico came so far that they popped up in Nevada, in the middle of Nevada and California, bro. So to me, this tells me like it's a lot. These earthquakes is getting powerful, bro. And that was it's crazy because that earthquake in Mexico, the same thing happened last year. It was the same earthquake that devastated Mexico City. So it's like scary, like how this is happening. So I would say get prepared for an earthquake. You know what I'm saying? In California, and because they're saying that basically that earthquake was pretty powerful. It might not have been as powerful on the surface, but underneath, down below, it was powerful. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty scary. Like if those water waves came all the way over here, and it only happens on rare instances, that'll tell you that we could be in store for a big earthquake in California. Cause we're like right there, bro. Like between Mexico and Nevada, like it's us. You know what I'm saying? So we are in that point between, like that could have ruptured something, got a fault going. You never know. Like we could be right around the corner from an earthquake. Just look at these waves, bro. To me, this is just crazy. Like look how fast these waves start coming. So it started off kind of slow, right? And for me, remind you, this is always still water. So you seen before, like this water don't move. But just imagine these divers, any divers down there when an earthquake happens, something like this happen, bro. It's a wrap. It don't matter. It look like it's gonna suck you in. Like you down there, if you down there, it ain't no getting out. If you're, you know what I'm saying. So this looks absolutely crazy. Just look at these waves, bro. this. Well, they saying this was 20 minutes after the earthquake, bro, over there. Just 20 minutes. Think how fast that traveled, dog. Think how fast it traveled. So this is happening only 20 minutes after. Just think how fast this is traveling. How fast those waves underneath the earth. Well, not all the way underneath the earth. Our earth that we're living on. Just think of it like the crust. Think of how fast those seismic waves was moving and how powerful they were underneath to come up here, bro. Like this ain't nothing to play around with. Yeah, you could tell it's getting stronger and stronger. Like if you in there, bro. Yeah, ain't no way, bro. That water start getting way too strong. Just think, if it's anybody down there, dog, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. That sounds like that sounds a lot like a tsunami, but tsunamis are caused by an earthquake moving the ocean floor up and down. Tsunamis can generate much larger. Mr. William added at the time. I mean, you got to think under the earth though. Like if it's happening underneath us on that floor, or you got to think of that. Like it could damn well be a tsunami happening underneath us. Like you know what I'm saying? Because them waves is traveling far. There's nothing really under there living, but them waves still find a way to travel because it's like a tsunami effect, but underneath us. Like that's pretty crazy. And then we go to our last source right here. Fault that runs along LAOC. I just seen this, bro. Like right after I was doing the research on this pops up, bro. Fault that runs along LAOC coast could trigger an earthquake as strong as 7.8, study shows. The Palos Verdes fault zone, which runs along the coast of Los Angeles and Orange County, could trigger an earthquake with a magnitude as strong as 7.8, according to a new study released Friday. Wow. This is crazy. In a study, scientists with Harvard University say they now believe the fault is interconnected. It was previously thought to be a segmented network of smaller faults deep beneath Palos Verdes Peninsula. The fault system runs nearly 70 miles along the southern California coast from Santa Monica Bay all the way down to Dana Point, bro. So that's like all the way from LA, a little above LA, like Burbank area, all the way down to freaking Dana Point, bro. All the way. That's that's so far down there, all the way to the OC. So anything in between, bro, would absolutely be devastated. Like if that was to break open, that would be insane. In the worst case scenario, this shit would unleash an earthquake that combines the most destructive qualities of the 1994 Northridge earthquake, a 6.7 and 7.1 Ridgecrest earthquake that hit in 2019. The study's results may not come as a surprise to Southern Californians, but some said it's a good reminder to always be prepared for an earthquake. We need to make sure we have our earthquake insurance up to date. We need to make sure we have the water for 3 days of canned goods because no one will be able to help us in that amount of time, one woman told Eyewitness News. She is absolutely right. It sounds like a warning to me. Like, they telling us, like, y'all got to get ready. Like, this is not the only source I've seen come out with this article. So it's like, right now is the time to stay focused, get your survival kits, get whatever you need in case something pops off. Make sure you have water in your house. Make sure you got food because you don't know how bad it could be. Like, what? Florida just got hit with a hurricane. Canada's out of power. Puerto Rico by the Fiona hurricane. All these places are like getting hit, washed up, and it's like crazy. Like, especially Florida. Florida is crazy to get hit like that. Like, that's a sketchy place to get hit. All them damn alligators. Um, mm You seen that movie, Crawl? Yeah. Yeah, that. I'm good. I'm good on Florida. That shit is crazy. There's people out there out of power right now. It could be something big hitting us anytime soon, bro. So, like, people just gotta stay ready, stay focused. Like, just be ready for anything. Like, you can't think about it all the time, but the best you can do is be prepared for something you don't know. Like, you never know when it's coming. So, the best you can do is be prepared for anything. Have whatever you need, guns, all that. Because out here in California is crazy already. So if something like this happens and people don't have food and stuff, and people are gonna go crazy out in the streets, like it's gonna be purged. Like I'm already knowing, like everybody fight for themselves anyway out here. So if something does happen that's that crazy, and people are still able to be out there, and they gotta go find food or something, it's gonna be a dangerous, 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 dangerous walk to go get anything, bro. Like you gotta be thinking like that. You gotta be thinking militant. You gotta be thinking survival mode. You gotta be thinking like you're damn marine out here, cause we don't know when it's gonna happen, when things gonna get crazy. But bro, I could tell you it's a lot of stuff. It's been boiling up, bro. This is end game, and it's coming. Like it's a change coming. This system has to end some way somehow, and it will be destroyed. So it's like be ready for it, bro. Be ready for anything that's gonna happen. You don't know when it's gonna happen, but yeah, that's basically this little insight, and that's gonna be it for this one. So we got Death Valley and uh Mexico earthquake just happened, and now we gotta worry about the California earthquake that's supposed to be creeping up on us. So yeah, man, crazy insight. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the information. You learned something new. You got something out of it, and I just appreciate you watching this content. Go ahead, subscribe, like the video if you do like this. If you want more of it, I'm gonna keep uploading every other every other day whenever I can. But yeah, peace out. Love you guys. Stay up. And all praises to the Most High, of course.